Happy Halloween.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to race number 11 here on Halloween. The Last of Us Lite series. I don't know why I threw that in there. I just felt like being silly, I guess. But anyway, this is the Last of Us Lite series, race number 11, as I said, and it is at Daytona International Speedway, which is quite different for these drivers because the last time we were here, they ended up being confined to a very small short track race on the Daytona International Speedway back straightaway. Tonight, they get to run the restrictor plate part of the Great American Race Daytona 500 track, and we are getting ready for 20 laps of racing in tonight's event. Coming into this race, the points are pretty close, especially among the top 9. There's really a lot of drivers still keeping their names in the bid here for the championship. That's going to be interesting, too, because these drivers are really going to need to get a good finish here tonight because we're not going to be seeing these guys for about 4 weeks before we head to the next destination for these guys, which I think could possibly be Lime Rock, but I'm not certain. So we're not going to see the Last of Us Lite series for quite a few weeks. So they're going to definitely want to have some good momentum after taking a bit of a vacation before ending out the rest of the season trying to battle for the championship. As James SHELLY lines up on the pole, SHELLY comes into this race currently sitting in the 25th place in points. Former winner this season, won at Thornton. Alongside of SHELLY is going to be Kyle Thomas, winless this season, but currently 10th in the points. Right now, a total of 40 points out of the top position. Benjamin Miles lines up in third. Benjamin been having a struggling season, 33rd in points. Alongside of him, Cody Lamas, who comes into this race 16th in points, but he's still looking for his first win of the season as well. And then I believe the last time we were at a restricted plate track with these drivers was back at Talladega Superspeedway, where SKYLA Johnson finished second to Joey Van Hoot. Well, tonight she starts off from the 5th position, but still looking for her first win, and comes in as the current points leader as well. And look who she's starting alongside of. Morgan Grempler, who is second in points, right now a total of 12 points out of the top position. So first and second in points going to start alongside each other in the beginning of tonight's race at Daytona. Let's get these cars rolling off, though. The rest of the points coming into this race are as follows. Ty Dent, he is now third in the point standings, a total of 18 points out of the top position. Yep, I'm correct in that. Nick Pericles is fourth in the points. He is 20 points out. Zachary Chambers, fifth. Sixth, Tony Blazer. Nick Barney, who I think I saw starting somewhere just outside the top 10 in this event, he's 7th in points. Samuel Light is 8th. Harrison Ponder 9th. And as we mentioned, Kyle Thomas is 10th in the current standings. There's Richard Johnson, our winner last time out at the endurance race at Le Mans. He'll roll off from the 10th position. That win that he had moved him all the way up to 20th in the point standings. So Richard Johnson going to definitely try and continue that wave of good momentum that he has had. And a big thing here for a driver in this series, Rohit Arvu. Now, he's still looking for his first win here in the Last of Us Lite series, but we're going to see him as well in the Mobile One Cup series, as he ended up getting the vacant Dylan Thoreau ride, and he'll be making his return to Mobile One Cup series competition in a couple of nights in the Mobile One Cup series race here under the lights at Daytona International Speedway as well. So you can bet that we're going to definitely have to keep our eyes on him during tonight's race, because it may give us a little bit of a scouting report on how he will do in the Mobile One race. But anyway, we're getting ready to put these cars under the green flag, though. 20 laps of racing here tonight. And James SHELLY, looking for his second win of the season, will lead him down. The Trick or Treat 200 is green here on Halloween night at Daytona. And you gotta wonder who's gonna get a trick, which could be compliments of the famed big one here at Daytona, and who's going to get the treat of going to victory lane here tonight. James SHELLY moves to the lead. Benjamin Miles into second. SKYLA Johnson to third. Inside line is going to be the line that moves as they move down here to where they actually would have been racing in the first race of the season at the Daytona back straightaway. But now they're racing the full 2.5-mile racetrack Benjamin Miles gets moved up to the high side, and they're almost 4 wide back there. They are 4 wide. Biggie Spencer, Crystal Reed, Corey Williams, and Benjamin Miles. Something's got to give there, and I'm afraid it may end up being giving in the form of a big one, but somehow they keep it together. Still Benjamin Miles is caught in that high side, and Rohit Vidarva almost got into him, and there they go! Warren Williams is around. VERSKI is involved. Stuart Gratton, Chris Louviere, and look out! Oh, Tony Blazer gets a hold of the 29. There's another car spinning through the grass. I think that was VERSKI still. There is the 40 of Chris Louviere, both of the beer cars, the Miller Lite and Coors Light cars getting together there. 2 Dodges out of opposing teams, smoke lingering in the turn 1 area. Oh man, VERSKI's car is absolutely demolished. There's Stuart Gratton in the 6th. I know he got involved. They're starting to get around him. I don't know if he really got damaged or not. I guess so, because they are making rather short work of him. And oh boy, some cars getting the wall coming off this corner, but looks like they're all going to make it at least back to the caution flag in one piece. Look who took the lead. Morgan Grempler, and right behind him, the guy, or the gal I should say, that he's trying to run down for that points lead, SKYLA Johnson, in the 2nd position. And that was a bit of lag there. I apologize for that. Don't rightly know what happened. But Morgan Grempler leads us under the yellow. We'll see if there's anybody else that was involved that we didn't see. There's VERSKI. Boy, he's been having a really tough season, his Mark. Tony Blazer in the 42. Corey Williams. There is Louviere. Hasn't come to pit road yet, but we'll probably see him in this time. And there's Stuart Gratton. I think for the most part there were 5 drivers involved. I think this was triggered by Benjamin Miles getting caught up in a 4-wide situation, but I may be incorrect. So we will find out anyway, though, as we'll head back for a replay of our first yellow of the evening here at Daytona International Speedway. Watch up on the high side there. Benjamin Miles in the 00 gets into the wall, but he's not the one that starts the wreck. No, Stuart Gratton got into the left rear of Corey Williams and shot him down the track right in front of Mark VERSKI and Chris Louviere. So that was on the 6. And then makes more contact there with Corey Williams to Stuart. Stuart actually, interesting fact, ended up winning the Battle of the Beach race on the Daytona back straightaway in our first race of the season. So he was trying to go for, if you will, the Daytona sweep. VERSKI, I think, is actually going to get a piece of the inside wall. And watch the 29. Yeah, Tony Blazer. I don't think he was expecting that Corey was going to come right back up the racetrack. I mean, it's not like Corey could do anything. His car was in a 4-wheel slide. And right in front of Tony Blazer. That's going to hurt Blazer in points. 6th in the standings came the 42. And I thought that, Louviere got into the fence, but apparently not. Oh, wait a minute. Is he going to get a hit here from VERSKI? Yeah, VERSKI's actually saved his car. He was driving away, and then he nails Louviere in the back bumper, and that's how Louviere got his rear end damage and why the front of the 2 car was all jacked up. Man, so a couple of beer cars crunching, if you will. And that was, boy, that Louviere and VERSKI could have gotten away with minimal to no damage, but now they're damaged. Maybe possibly VERSKI out of the race, and there's Williams and Blazer as well. We talked about how Williams had such a good position in points, 16th in points coming into tonight's race, and of course Tony Blazer as well, 6th in points. This is going to hurt them big time in the standings, but Daytona strikes early and strikes near the front as we'll head back now for the green. Lights are out atop the pace car. We'll go back green here on lap 7 of 20. As you can see, the front looks a little bit different. Morgan Grempler still the leader, but Crystal Reed has now moved up into the 2nd position. The reason? SKYLA Johnson actually decided to come to pit road under that caution flag, as did Biggie Spencer, Kayla Schmidt, Jason Trost, MARIEN SCHALLROTTE, Rohit Vidarva, Zeke Marley, Kyle Thomas, Nick Barney, a number of drivers who were running right up near the front at the start of this race. So, that begs the question, is Daytona going to turn into a fuel mileage strategy race? Right now, with the way it's looking, it very well might be. And remember, SKYLA Johnson knows how to be able to utilize fuel mileage. Back at Talladega, her best career finish of the season, 2nd place, and the car just a few cars ahead of her, Joey Van Hoot, did the same. They ended up having just enough fuel to coast, literally coast on the apron, to the start-finish line at Talladega to get the win for Joey Van Hoot and 2nd place for SKYLA Johnson. Quite honestly, that was when SKYLA Johnson started a streak of good finishes, which has now put her up atop the point standings coming into tonight's race at Daytona. That also, though, shakes the points up a little bit, too, because Morgan Grempler's now a handful of positions ahead of SKYLA Johnson as we're back green. He came in tonight 12 points behind SKYLA, and I'm pretty certain he's more than 12 cars ahead of her at the current moment. So right now, I believe, according to the live points, Morgan Grempler would be the points leader, but remember again, Morgan Grempler and a number of these guys up here at the front have not yet been to pit road. They're obviously banking on a caution flag or something, and are relying on this pit strategy to get them track position, so that way they would be ahead of that wreck that they're apparently expecting is going to happen. Right now, though, Morgan Grempler got a good jump, and that's not normally what you want to do here. You can see how quickly the cars all bunched up behind him are starting to reel him in, being led by Grempler's teammate Aaron Henderson in the 99. So now the Roush cars up here at the front, and here comes Henderson down to the bottom looking for the lead off of his teammate. Whoa, almost some contact between the two teammates there. Here comes Nick Pericles in the 43, another driver competing for the championship. Right now battling for 4th place with Jake Baskinger. Pericles comes in this race 20 points out of that top position in points. And there's Jacob Cornigo in the 31, former winner this season. I think he won back at Kentucky. I might be wrong, but I think it was Kentucky. And Cornigo is 11th in points. He wants to move himself back up into the top 10. As right now he's pushing Luis Hernandez in the 38. At the stripe that time between teammates, I believe Aaron Henderson was the leader. No, they're saying Grempler got him on the outside. So that lap going to be led by the 17. 99, though, still holds the inside line. Whoa, a little squirrely back there was the pole sitter James SHELLY. He's found his teammate, though, Ty Dent. And their other teammate, Biggie Spencer's right there as well. So we may be able to see Everham work together here. As right now, it's still side by side between the two teammates out of Roush Racing. Aaron Henderson on the bottom, Morgan Grempler on the top. Now here comes an inside line. Well, there was an inside line. Crystal Reed was helping Jacob Cornigo. Cornigo, though, decides to jump to the high side and help Grempler at the stripe this time. Who led it? Was it the 99 or was it the 17? Waiting on the ticker. Ticker even going to tell us? I don't even know if it's updated itself. I guess it did. And amazingly enough, guess what? Grempler and Henderson just ran their fastest lap of the race, too, battling side by side with each other, which they've been doing for the past 2 laps or so. But yes, Grempler was scored the leader that time around, too. Had to have been by inches, though. I mean, these two have just been drag racing to the stripe each and every time. Let's follow it this time out of turn number 4. Who's going to be the one? Whoa, whoa, watch it back there. A couple of drivers getting the wall. Sky Commons coming to pit road. And at the stripe this time, who was it? This time it was actually Henderson who led on the inside line. Whoops. And again, the 17 and the 99 ran their fastest laps of the race. So Sky Commons has hit the pit lane already. Must have been one of those drivers who hadn't yet pitted. As Zeke Marley now is going to come to the bottom. And now the side-by-side racing between the Roush car is going to end. Well, maybe not, because here comes another Roush car. Nick Barney to the bottom, 3 wide for the top position. Drafting help here from Amadou Diallo. And here comes Rohit Vidarbu as well. Oh, look out. Man, Ty Dent giving no room to Crystal Reed as they're going to head to pit road. And the caution flag is out. Caution flag is waving for the second time this evening, and now this is going to change quite a bit. Now, I don't know if the caution came out before or after those drivers were already committed to coming to pit road. But if that is the case, then we may end up having some lap machines as a result. I don't know for certain. I think they'll be able to maybe get their pit stops completed and get off of pit road before they get lapped. There's actually Matt Ulsner. He's got damage on the front of his car. I thought I saw SOSNOSKI with damage. Lisa Gonzalez, Kayla Schmidt also damaged, and Jason Tross. There's Austin Weiner, Fargo, Hernandez, Joey Van Hoot. SKYLA Johnson pitted again? Wow. I thought she was good to go for a while. Baskinger was also in. There's Reed, and there is Ty Dent. as well as Cornigo. Oh, Richard Johnson's got front-end damage on his Napa Toyota, last time out's winner. And looks like Benjamin Miles has also gotten involved in whatever this was. The Domino's Pizza Toyota Camry is damaged, and I think I see some front-end damage on Zachary Chambers 48, but he's not coming to pit road. Some drivers are, though. Zeke Marley, Morgan Grempler, they're coming. That is definitely damage on the back of the front of the 48. I'm pretty certain. The car's got a buckle. So Amadou Diallo cycles around as the leader now after drivers electing to come to pit road. Vadarbu moves to second, SCHALLROTTE to third, Biggie Spencer fourth, and Lyndon Wright is now in the fifth position. So caution's out for the second time tonight. We'll restart probably with a little, maybe 5, maybe less to go. But let's see a replay of what happened. Apparently it was something we didn't see, but it involved quite a number of drivers. We were watching the leaders in that 3-wide battle up at the front. They were actually 3 wide behind this as well. This was a number of drivers who were, I think some of them were actually trying to slow up to be able to get to pit road. I think Carter Fargo comes down. I think SOSNOSKI comes down. The 36 of Weiner I know was on pit road. So let's see what happens here. Jason Trost, I don't know if he was trying to come to pit road or not. He comes down into Samuel Lite on, oh my goodness, into Gonzalez. Look at the 88 up and in the air after kind of lodging into the safer barrier there. The end of the safer barrier. Trost is flipping. Ulsner collected. There's James Tyler in the 20. Alex Tanker was in it. There's Lyndon Wright. He gets involved. Benjamin Miles. Kayla Schmidt involved there as well. Austin Mongold, so both the Red Bull cars, and this was, I think, a result of drivers trying to get to pit road, and they were in a 3-wide situation, but that's on the 22. The 22 came down into Samuel Lite, and then was turned into Lisa Gonzalez, but man, 2 cars were airborne there, the 22 and the 88. And then Ulsner ended up, I think, getting a little bit of air as well. And just look at the carnage here on the entrance of pit road. Man. Big wreck here. Drivers trying to pit under the green. That was what brought out our caution for the second time here tonight at Daytona. Take a couple of onboards. First on board with the OTC 360 Toyota of Austin Weiner. Weiner just comes to a complete stop to be able to get by that. And now on board with Jason Trost. Let's listen to hear if he got out of the throttle or not. There's Richard Johnson getting a piece of it. Boy, it didn't sound like his engine hiccuped at all or anything, but he did turn down and got clipped by the 12. Big wreck near the rear of the field here. Puts them to caution. Let's head back for the finish of this race. So, we'll get ready to go back to green, and we'll finish out this race with 5 laps remaining. Big question mark here on these drivers. Don't know if they were ones that had pitted back on the first caution back on lap 3 or not, but if they weren't, then they could be in a bit of trouble here trying to stretch it to the end. Amadou Diallo is the leader, Rohit Vidar was second, third place is MARIEN SCHALLROTTE, Biggie Spencer's fourth, fifth Zachary Chambers, then it's Nick Pericles in sixth, seventh is Jacob Cornigo, tied in eighth, ninth place is Crystal Reed, and Jake Baskinger runs in 10th. Points leader SKYLA Johnson rolling off from the 11th position on this restart. Now, I do not remember if Pericles had come to pit road under that last caution, but I do know that Cornigo on back did. So at least 7th on back we know have been to pit road. They're probably good to go till the end. It's these top 5 that are going to be the interesting thing. Zachary Chambers already getting bypassed there by Nick Pericles for 5th. And here comes Rohit Vidarvu. Drafting help from Biggie Spencer, maybe? Nope, Spencer's going to go out on his own. And Vidarvu's out of fuel. Vidarvu's got to be out of fuel. He's holding up Nick Pericles, too. Veydarvu is holding them up. Oh, man, they got to get by him. Veydarvu's got to move out of their way, and he's not moving. Oh, man, this is going to be trouble. There they go. SOSNOSKI gets clipped right up the racetrack. He saves it, though. Oh, Kyle Thomas, Zach Rogers around in the back as well as Pericles, and they're still wrecking. There goes Cornigo up into Luis Hernandez, and they are wrecking like crazy coming across the start-finish line. Shelly the pole sitter is in it. I think I saw the 20 of Tyler involved, and they are still wrecking as drivers have hit the pit lane, and this race is going to end under the caution, I'm pretty sure, and Ty Dent was the one who crossed the stripe as the leader, just ahead of Crystal Reed, Johnson, Fargo, and Sky Commons. I'm pretty certain this race would end under yellow now. I don't know for certain, though. We could potentially get back green for a one-lap shootout, but the odds of that don't seem too good. But that was quite a pile up there. And that all goes back to those 5 who risked it running out of fuel. There's Hernandez. His car is demolished. Nick Pericles, I don't really know if he got a whole lot of damage, but he lost a ton of positions on track. That we know for certain. And a number of other drivers are on the pit lane now with damaged machines that were running up near the front. As a matter of fact, I think a number of them have actually already retired. Oh man, there's Shelly, the pole sitter. 14th right now. That's not where he'll finish this evening's race, though. Is that Chris Louvier up there? Is he on the lead lap? No, he's not. Okay, he's a lap down. I was going to say, I think he and Harrison Ponder are both off the lead lap. But Ty Dent is the leader here right now with 3 laps to go. Will we get back green? I don't know, but we do have to take the opportunity real quickly while they're under pacing to see what happened, because this really cost a number of drivers who were up at the front with a chance of a good finish. Whoa, that was weird. It cost them a chance at the win. Wow, what is going on? So here's a look at what happened. As you can see, the whole outside line gets held up by the slow machine of Veydarvu, who is clearly out of fuel. Veydarvu could have moved up even more, but he really didn't. And there you just see, everybody just backed up. Cornigo gets into Pericles. Pericles turned down and clips Kyle SOSNOSKI. Now, SOSNOSKI does a great job of hanging on to it. But then, further back, there you see Aaron Henderson turns Zach Rogers. He's going to collect the 5 of Kyle Thomas. So they go spinning around. And then up ahead, Cornigo, he made some contact with Luis Hernandez. Luis comes back down and turns the 31 back up the racetrack. There's Joey Van Hoot involved. Nick Barney had nowhere to go. It's just going to blockade up the track. There's Shelly getting a piece of it. Ponder, Tyler, SOSNOSKI, who had that great save. He's collected in this one, though. And look who's caught right behind this, right there in the middle, that yellow car. That's the second place in points car of Morgan Grempler. So he lost a lot of track position as a result of this. Finally able to get around as well as his teammate Stuart Gratton. And, well, I thought there were a lot more damaged cars than there actually were. It was more a lot of sliding than there was a lot of hard hits. For the most part, the only ones that really sustained a substantial amount of damage were pretty much Cornigo, Hernandez, and quite possibly James Shelly. But nonetheless, a lot of tempers could be flaring after this one, especially with the move there of those drivers trying to stay out and just basically holding up the entire field, running out of fuel. Anyway, though, we'll head back now, see if this race is going to end under caution or if we will get back for a one-lap shootout. Coming down here, white flag is displayed for Ty Dent, and the lights remain atop the pace cars. So this race will be ending under yellow, and Ty Dent will be picking up his first win of the season. The guy who came in 3rd in points, only a total of 18 points out of the top position, is going to win here tonight as he continues to try and make a case for himself here heading into the final 4 more races till we crown ourselves the Last of Us Light Series champion. The good news for him is he won. The bad news is he didn't gain a super whole lot of ground. He'll gain, I think, a total of 7 points tonight on SKYLA Johnson, who manages to scrape out a 3rd place finish here tonight. So SKYLA will continue to be the points leader, and I see Morgan Grempler back there, 14th where he'll finish, so he's going to lose some ground. He may actually end up losing second place in points to Ty Dent, because he only was 6 points ahead of Ty Dent coming into tonight's race in that second position. But Ty Dent, I believe, also becomes the fourth Dodge to go to victory lane this season. His teammate did it at Thornton, James SHELLY, also Nick Pericles and Samuel Lite have put Dodge in victory lane. So Ty Dent will be picking up a victory here. And the streak continues. 11 races, 11 different race winners. We have had yet to have a repeat winner here in the Last of Us Lite series in 11 straight events. But Ty Dent for Everham Racing is going to come down here to the stripe, and he's going to have a happy Halloween indeed. It's a treat for Ty Dent as he'll take the checkered flag here tonight in the Trick or Treat 200 at Daytona. Number of drivers receiving the tricks tonight, coming in several different forms. A number of drivers who started up at the front getting involved in an early wreck, and then a number of drivers who are running up at the front late getting involved in a wreck due to drivers running out of fuel and completely blockading up the entire racetrack. But Ty Dent at the end of the night is the one that's going to claim the checkered flag and win here at Daytona International Speedway. So Ty Dent will carry this momentum for the next 4 weeks or so, because these drivers, we will not see them until the Lime Rock race weekend, I believe it is. We still have a number of different races that'll be going on then. We, of course, have to finish off our race weekend with Trucks Mobile and Snickers here at Daytona. And then Trucks Mobile Daytona will be heading for 3 weeks to various tracks. I believe we are first heading to Chicagoland, then to Homestead Miami Speedway, and then the next track, I believe, is Darlington. Then we'll see the Last of Us Lite series back in the Lime Rock race weekend. So hope you guys enjoyed today's race, or tonight's race, I should say. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finishing results. Overall point standings heading into our next race, which will be in, as I said, 4 weeks at Lime Rock. SKYLA Johnson remains the points leader, and we will see you guys next time here. Be sure to follow the NNSCRA on social media. Facebook and Twitter links are in the description. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best. Happy Halloween, everybody! He made very quick work. Whoa, look out! Oh, what a save! Dougie Shears just got turned by the lap machine of Charles Sanford, but now he's got left side damage. But he still opens up his distance. He still keeps a distance between himself and second place McCurry. But all that ground he gained, he just lost right there. But what a save!